Hello and welcome to the FWI Weekly News Review. It's Friday, June the 13th. I'm Caroline Stocks. The EU has been urged to see sense over its ongoing pesticides review. EU member states are discussing plans which would see up to 30% of pesticides removed from the market. A report for the European Crop Protection Association said if the plans went ahead, wheat and potato prices would need to increase by 120% to maintain current gross margins. The Crop Protection Agency said this would be extremely dangerous for food production and prices. The NFU has promised to make sure UK fertilizer prices stay in line with those in mainland Europe. The merger of Terra and Chimera into Growhouse last year has left the UK with just one fertilizer manufacturer, raising concerns amongst farmers. NFU President Peter Kendall said the fertilizer industry needed to explain better to farmers how the industry was changing and said a close eye needed to be kept on prices. Growhouse said it was taking the criticism on board. Government proposals for controlling bovine TB are set to be released next week. The DEFRA plans are widely expected to ignore calls for a badger cull, but NFU Deputy President Myrig Raymond said there were mixed messages over the way the decision would go. Gilly Greed from the National Beef Association South West said the TB situation in some parts of the country was beyond control and it was vital steps were taken to tackle the disease. A record number of visitors attended this year's cereals event held at Heath Farm in Lincolnshire this week. It was the biggest cereals event ever, with nearly 24,000 people going along to see around 400 exhibitors over the 2 days. Machinery proved as popular as ever, but people were also keen to take a look at crop trial plots. You can see more photos, videos and stories from the event at fwi.co.uk/cereals event. A farmer has been left fuming after a smashed motorway fence line was left unrepaired for more than a week. Brian Smith was left with a gaping hole into a field stocked with 500 sheep and cattle. The fence, which ran alongside the M40 motorway in Warwickshire, was broken for 3 hours before Mr Smith was alerted. His local council told him he couldn't do the repairs himself, but Mr Smith is still waiting for a contractor to visit his farm. Mr Smith said carnage would be caused if the stock broke out onto the road. And finally, Farmers Weekly's resident agony uncle is preparing to hold a live surgery to help you with your problems. Farmer Frank has been bribed with pickled eggs and pork pies to get onto fwi.co.uk to answer your questions. So, if you have love, money or farming problems, you can put them to him on Thursday, June the 9th between 7 and 9 p.m. We can only apologise in advance for any advice he gives. That's it from this week. For all the latest news, go to fwi.co.uk.